You guys, hello. C'est moi, mon amis. We are gonna ride and talk. I had to come get the kids. Will it work? Okay, let's get me home. Okay, you guys, so did you see Traitors? Thanks for coming into LRGA Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the...
Turn right onto First Street, then turn right onto
Lincoln Boulevard, Old Highway 65. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. And so you can become part of this beautiful curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets.
At the light, turn right onto Lincoln Boulevard, Old Highway 65.
You guys, did you see the freaking Traitors? Did you see the Traitors?
Continue on Old Highway.
I was like, no, oh my God. So the Traitors happened, you guys, and old Phaedra, the reason for the season of the Traitors, damn those other traitors. Leave it to some freaking... My holder doesn't like this phone holding. But leave it to the freaking Traitors. They traded on Phaedra. So if you haven't been watching, last night was, what was it, episode 10 of the second season of Traitors. They're in Scotland with that guy who we love from The Good Wife. Remember, he was on The Good Wife and he was with the DNC anyway. So the season started great, and as you know, the guy who owns the castle, Alan, he goes around and he selects a traitor. Everybody comes to the place, faithfuls, and then he selects the traitors. And so he went around the table the first night and he selected Phaedra to be a traitor, you guys. Can you hear me okay? I'm in my car, I don't know. So when he selected Phaedra to be his traitor, he also selected Dan, and I'm not sure what show Dan is from, but he seemed like the perfect kind of stabby guy anyway. So they both were the traitors. As soon as he saw Phaedra, he was like, oh, I'm going to try to, I knew he was going to try to get Phaedra and turn on Phaedra. I knew it. You could just tell he's that kind of colonizer. Anyway, so they were, I might have to hold this while I drive. Hi. Look at this cool old car in front of me. I can smell all their gas. Their carburetor's running rich. But I'm gonna keep it like this. Oh shit, he's not going fast at all. He can't go fast at all. The speed limit's 50. It smells great behind him, but I don't want to speed too much. Let's get one behind him. Okay, right on. So okay, I'm lost. Sorry, you guys. And it's raining here. The atmospheric river is back in California. Okay. So Dan got to the traitor room with Phaedra. You could tell he was already like, ooh, I'm going to throw her under the bus and I'll be the traitor. And then they ended up needing to recruit somebody. And Dan wanted to recruit Pavarotti. And I was like, oh, now both of these people are about to turn on Phaedra. And sure enough, everybody had already thought Pavarotti was a traitor the very first night, just because of who she is. And she was not a traitor though. So when they kept
in a quarter mile, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto the ramp to California 65 South.
when they were doing the things, she would like go around and everybody thought it was poverty. And her and Dan both threw Phaedra under the bus on their way out from getting voted as a
Use the left 2 lanes.
Turn left onto the
Wait a
ramp
second,
to
I gotta
California
turn.
65 South, then merge onto California 65 South.
Any wet roads. I was getting off the freeway to the destination, and it had just started raining. And you know that oil slick that happens, I guess, because I was coming off at like 35 miles an hour.
Continue on California.
When I ended up facing the other direction, good thing the car behind me had stopped already, and I guess they saw it was going to happen. And when you guys, if you have a skid out, you don't brake on the skid out. It makes you skid more. You kind of have to turn into the skid. So I remembered that, and I turned the way the skid was going, and so kind of like a donut. And luckily I didn't end up in the ditch over there, but yeah, I got to be careful. Anyway, Phaedra, she got thrown under the bus by Dan, who had not mentioned a soul. They kept being like, Dan, ask you who you think it is. You never tell us anybody. And that's what traitors do. And so how did Dan reply? He was like, oh, he went around to all the people in the castle, and they were like, one more time, they were like, look, Dan, if you don't tell us who you think is the traitor, then we're going to have to vote you out. And he was like, well, I'm going to save it for the round table. And when I get to the round table tonight, just hear me out. Just hear me out. So he gets to the round table, and that fool ends up saying Phaedra was the traitor, and then gave these list of reasons. Now, granted, he had never said a name before, and then he throws his partner in crime, Phaedra, under the bus. And I guess he knew the code enough to know that that would be acceptable to them, because it's got them thinking, well, he's never mentioned a name before. Why would he lie? Well, because he's a motherfucking traitor and he's a fucking liar. And that's what they do. But now all of a sudden they're like, why would he lie this time? Because he didn't have anything to lose. So we think he was giving up a name of his partner in crime, which was Phaedra. And she's like, well, you know, she didn't get eliminated. And then the next time they came after Poverty, because they already thought she was a traitor. And then when they came after Poverty, they were like, oh, if you tell us who you think is a traitor, and you know that bitch said Phaedra too? Oh my God. So last time I watched Traitors, the traitors didn't turn on each other. The traitors did not turn on each other till the very last minute when they had to. This time, these traitors got in the room, saw Phaedra, and were like, ooh, we're going to trade on Phaedra. And we started working together against Phaedra. So I was like, yeah, overseer much. But Phaedra was trying to be girl power and kept giving Poverty chances. But she saw the writing on the wall also. But also she had enough friends in the house from Bravo that they were also keeping her safe, you know? So now we have Phaedra alone in the castle. Alan comes up to the turret, and he's like, you get to choose somebody to be a traitor with you now, and you have to meet him in the dungeon. And if they don't, and tell him that if they don't come to you to be a traitor with you, then you're gonna have to murder them. So, oh, I hope I didn't crack my phone. So Phaedra decided to do Kate, you know, Kate from Below Deck Kate. Yeah. And everybody knows Kate can be very, like, what's the word for Kate? Come on, we're doing a merge thing here, dude. I'm not stopping for you. You're a weirdo. And so Kate can be a little snarky, whereas Phaedra just like reads a bitch down, and it's kind of, it can be horrible to your, really beautiful to watch. So anyway, she was being snarky, as always when she got in place. But then as soon as she became, she kind of got, I don't know, she got unsure of herself and relaxed. Not relaxed, but like her snarkiness went away. Like she had this air of confidence when she got in the castle as a re-entry, because she came in mid-season, Kate did. And when she got into the
In 2 miles.
Take the interchange on the right.
when she got into the castle, it was like she was owning it kind of, because she didn't have a dog in the fight. And she was a faithful. You come in a faithful. So when she got recruited to be a traitor, it was kind of like forced on her also, because it was do it or die. But she was down for it, because when she was in the castle last time, Kate was a repeat customer. And when she was in the castle last time, she didn't get to be a traitor. So she thought it could be kind of cool to be a traitor. However, she just coming into the season and into the tort to be a traitor, she didn't know who had been murdered or why by the traitors. And everybody knows that Dan was the one pulling all the strings in the traitor turret for a long time, because everybody was coming for Dan. So anytime they got to murder somebody, Dan would be like, oh, I think we should murder this person. Oh, I think we should murder that person. And Phaedra was just like, okay, you know, she's not a gamer. She hadn't done this before. And so when she let them choose the people, because, you know, she was just going kind of along with it.
In half a mile, use
Right 2 lanes to take
But she knew she didn't want to murder
west
anybody
towards Sacramento.
who had, you know, kind of brought her name up or something like that. So there was this one moment where I guess a lady named Ekinsu had kind of thought it might be Phaedra, and
use the right 2 lanes.
Take exit
ended up
306B.
murdering Ekinsu by poisoning her from a chalice.
Continue on I-80.
Phaedra thought that was going to reflect bad on her. And so did Poverty, actually. Poverty didn't care, but she carried out the mission, which is what she was supposed to do. So good on Poverty. But it did look bad for Phaedra in a way, because, you know, she had thought maybe it was her, and then she got caught. So the next day, Poverty and then they all have to act surprised that Phaedra that, you know, Ekinsu was dead that time. So then we carry on, and then Trishelle. Now, Trishelle was a problem for me from moment one. She came in so hot on that transgender person. I keep on wanting to call the person Peanut. I'm sorry. But the person who got voted out of the castle first was transgender, was there to tell their story and shed light on transgender and, you know, just be their lovely self and there to share their fashions. And Trishelle was like hawking her and decided she was a traitor. The very first day, that's the person, the traitor, and went around telling everybody that's a traitor, that's a traitor, that's a traitor. So everybody voted that person off, and they were wrong. So then the next time somebody got voted off that was wrong, the person that was making everybody vote for the wrong person became the natural suspect. But it never happened to Trishelle. Did you guys notice that? It never happened to Trishelle. She keeps getting to say wrong person after wrong person. And she says wrong person after wrong person. And nobody ever threw Trishelle's name in the thing. Like, well, you keep getting all the people voted off. I was surprised that didn't happen. Because she just was like, I know everything and I'm the boss. And she was even mad at CT at one point. Her, the castle daddy. Phaedra's castle daddy. And but for some reason, not only did Trishelle never get offered for traitor, banishment, or anything, Trishelle also feels entitled that she needs to get all of the immunity things, either by having somebody hand it to her or make sure that she can get it. Bitch, it's a game. You need to work for that shit yourself. I'm shooting at your name on these stained glass windows because, as a matter of fact, Trishelle, you just had the immunity aisle like freaking 3 times in a row, and you think that I should not be shooting your stained glass name on here? Plus, it was Sandra who suggested we shoot your name on this thing because of how the aiming was happening. But when Phaedra decides to shoot the name after Sandra suggested it, CT turned on Phaedra, saying, oh, I think she didn't want Trishelle to get she didn't want Trishelle to get the shield, and that was assigned to me. But nobody's paying attention to Sandra. Sandra was the one that came up with that strategy. So it was just, oh, how quickly you forget. It was so interesting. Plus, why not think Trishelle was the traitor? Because why you always want everybody to give you the immunity? Because that's a good plot. Next time somebody goes on Traitors, when you're the traitor, why don't you just try to get the immunity to aisle every time? And then nobody will think you're the traitor because you always want to be protected from the murder, right? So I think that's a good strategy. But yeah, that's a good strategy. However, that's not what happened. So then we had on the show, we had so many Bravo celebrities. We had Phaedra, Sheree, Tamra, MJ, Kate Chastain, and then we had the guy from Bling Empire or something. And then we had some gamers from shows. I don't watch those survival shows and stuff like that. I'm not really into it. That was my dad's thing. He probably would have known all those people on there. But so they had the gamers, they had the Bravo celebrities, and then they had the reality show dudes, the 2 Bachelor dudes. So all of those people ended up ultimately getting voted off at one time or another. And they decided that the traitor not only had to be in the Bravo clique, but was probably 2 Bravo celebrities at this point, because just logistically, with how many people were left in the house, it was going to have to be 2 Bravo celebrities. And we know that it's Phaedra and Kate. There was a cliffhanger last week where there was 4 votes for Peter, whose ass we don't have to kiss because we are not on The Bachelor and we don't need your rose. And Phaedra, who is doing too much because y'all are doing too little. And there was a tiebreaker vote, and that was going to come from MJ. Now, I thought for sure MJ was going to end up doing the wrong thing, but when she turned that thing over and it said Peter, I was like, yay, we live another day, because I just wanted Phaedra to win. Now, if you just saw the first season of Traitors, you know that the black lady from one of those shows, who was a gamer, ended up winning everything and taking home that $250,000, because game money goes fast, you guys. So she needed another win. And she played that game, and she was able to get all the way to the end, and nobody ever thought she was a traitor. She kind of had the same, well, no, actually, I think the lady last year, I think she suggested a couple of people. She never played this whole quiet thing. She engaged with the people and conspired with them. That's why they never thought she was a traitor. This season, it was the people who didn't say who they thought was the traitor that was the dead giveaway that you're a traitor. It was weird. I would just be throwing out names. I'd be like, oh, that bitch is a traitor. That dude is a traitor, you know? Oh, your window just got shot out, bro. Why is your whole back window gone through? That's not okay. And it's raining. There's an atmospheric river right now, and his brand new Jetta is missing its back window. It's all shattered open. God bless you. Everybody's blessed. So then MJ ended up turning that thing over, and it said Peter. I was like,
In 2 miles,
oh,
use the
yay. I went and followed MJ on.
for I-80 business towards Sacramento, California 99 South.
I had decided that I went and found MJ's Instagram so I could follow her. So if she had voted damn Phaedra off, I was gonna be like, bitch. No, I like MJ. I used to like Shaw's of Sunset a little bit. Sometimes they would go a little far, but but it was wearing a lot on Phaedra, you guys. It was wearing on her so bad that, you know, she was lying to Sheree, who she's known for 30 years. Everybody was coming for her ankles. Her being beautiful and fabulous wasn't enough anymore. They were kept on having side meetings without her. Oh my gosh, it had to be a horrible feeling in there for Phaedra because it was getting pretty thick, you know? Ooh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Look what just happened. Look, you guys gotta watch your 9s and your 6s and shit, dudes. Turn all the way around and then you get over.
In half a mile.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 95 for I-80 business towards Sacramento, California 99
Okay,
South.
I gotta go to Sacramento, downtown Sac. Let's get over to the business loop. Let's get over one more time. Oh, I think I can do it from here. Will you go over there? I'll go over here. Gotta be careful, you guys.
Use the right 2 lanes.
The no window guy get in front of me. Is he trying to get over here? Yeah, he is. Oh, look at him.
Continue for 5 miles.
Here, you guys can see. This whole window's gone. Look. You see that red shadow? You see how his window's gone? Can you see it? And it's raining out here. The atmospheric river just got here. So hopefully he's on his way to where he can get his window repaired. Okay. So, good old Phaedra was under attack. Everybody thought it was her. Kate was trying to throw the scent off of her and was doing a pretty good job, I thought. And I thought the people were going to go for it, but Phaedra was just kind of gave up, I feel like, you guys. I feel like she just didn't know what exactly to say. She's not a full-on liar. She didn't, I don't know. I would have just been throwing the scent on anybody and everybody. I would have been naming names left and right. She stuck with the girl power until the end. I would have thrown Trishelle under the bus. Trishelle would have been under a bus. Sandra would have been under a bus. All of them, because being a traitor, you put people under buses, right? So, but she didn't. She just kind of was like, just the reasons you guys have aren't the right reasons, but they were the right reasons because, hey, trust your intuition. It's God's gift to you, right? So they were like, my gut tells me, my intuition. I just know in my heart. Like when people say that kind of stuff, it's a knowing. It's like a superpower we have, right? And she didn't have anything to combat it because she knew in her heart she was a freaking traitor.